What's up, y'all? Chris here to do some afterthoughts on last night's fight between Miguel Cotto and Sergio Martinez. First off, goes without saying, I was wrong and way off on my prediction. Fortunately, I'm not the only one, so I don't feel like I was way off base in making Martinez the pick. But the one thing that I obviously was, aside from the decision or the way the fight went, the other thing that I was most incorrect about my prediction was believing that Miguel Cotto didn't have the power to hurt Martinez upstairs, and I was disproved on that pretty quickly into the fight. Cotto dropped him early on with the left. I hurt him and dropped him and put him on the canvas two more times in the first round. Although I think he was hurt on a couple of occasions. He got shook on a couple of times, but Martinez was off balance, unsteady. A couple, maybe the last knockdown, either the second, third knockdown, wasn't the most clean. I don't know if it was a combination of just being hurt and his leg just not having his legs under him in more than one way. Being hurt, but also just that knee not holding up very well. But Cotto was all over him, and at that point I'm like, holy shit, Martinez isn't even got the first round of this fight. I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, that place, the freaking roof's gonna come off Madison Square Garden if he finishes this guy in the first round. But credit to Sergio Martinez, one of the underrated toughness in that guy. I mean, same in Miguel Cotto to a degree, but underrated toughness by Sergio Martinez. I don't know how but his leg was going into that fight. I didn't see the second episode, 8/24 until Saturday morning, and when they wouldn't let you see him train, they said you got to go now. Um, that aside from other reports coming in, kind of made me worry and second guess a little bit. I still would have picked him to win the fight, but I would have had a little bit more reservation in how one-sided I thought it was going to go. It was one-sided, but just for the opposite guy, for Miguel Cotto. But yeah, Miguel Cotto looked really good in this fight, and Sergio Martinez didn't. Now, full credit to Miguel Cotto. Dictated the fight, established how the fight was going to go from round one on. Can't take away anything from him in that regard. But, I mean, you can't deny the fact, there's people out there saying that, you can't factor in the fact that Martinez, his legs that knee just wasn't there 100%. Was not the same Martinez. There were times in the middle rounds where you could see glimpses of what Martinez would have been capable of boxing using his reach advantage, but he just did not have the movement or the speed, and obviously without having your legs, he didn't have the power either to ever really threaten or keep Cotto away from keep Cotto at bay. Cotto had no fear of going in because he knew Martinez just couldn't, hurt him. So Cotto pretty much just dictated the way things went, was the ring general all the time, was able to be aggressive and just pretty much keep pace and catch up with Martinez all the time because Martinez just couldn't keep away from him. Couldn't keep away from the pressure, didn't have the movement he usually does, and just didn't have much to offer, unfortunately. Would have been a much more entertaining and competitive fight, but, Cotto took full advantage of the circumstances, and, that's what you got to do to win fights, and that's what he did. Nothing wrong with that. Also, got to give credit to Freddie Roach as well. This is a more refined version of Miguel Cotto than we've seen in recent years. Obviously, we couldn't take too much out of the Del Rodriguez fight, but in this fight, you really got to see more vintage Miguel Cotto. Better than we've seen in some fights, and I really think that this version of Cotto could have been possibly more competitive than even he was against Floyd, maybe Pacquiao, I don't know, but definitely the Trout fight. I think this version of Cotto would have definitely had more success. Not saying he would have won, but he definitely would have had more success against an Austin Trout, for example. Anyways, what's next for each guy? First off, for Sergio Martinez, definitely, in my opinion, the guy should retire. If you had over a year off, you came back and your leg still wasn't there, I think it's not going to come back. For anyone that watches MMA or UFC, same happened with Georges St. Pierre. The guy was gone for like well over a year, came back, won his next couple of fights, but before he was untouchable in his last couple of fights, he got marked up really bad. For the time being, he is retired. So, and Martinez is what, 40, 41 years old? Considering his style, without the speed and athleticism, yeah, and a bum leg, he just needs to call it a day because I don't see him beating any of the top middleweight chops. I'm not saying the ring's that deep, but I don't seem to have much success. I don't want to see him go out, getting beat down again. Good for his corner man for stopping the fight when he did, though. Credit to Sergio Martinez. He even wanted the fight to be stopped. You could see that he wanted to go out on his shield or at least try to go all 12 rounds, but his referee, Sarmiento, I believe how you pronounce the name, he did what was best for the fighter, and that's what a trainer is there to do. That's what they should do, especially in a situation where Martinez wasn't going to come back and win this fight. As for what's next for Miguel Cotto, big things, obviously. A lot of money's coming his way, that's for damn sure. Three options. Three, I think realistic options. You got Gennady Golovkin. Do I see him taking that fight next? No. I would love to see that fight. I mean, if Martinez would have won, that's the fight everyone would be calling for. But I have a feeling that a lot of people, including Cotto fans, aren't going to be in any rush to fight Gennady Golovkin. Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, that is the biggest fight that can be made money-wise for Miguel Cotto. Can it be made, logistically? Cotto isn't necessarily signed with Top Rank, even though the Top Rank for this fight. So the Top Rank is in any way involved, then a Floyd fight's not happening. Yeah, you gotta imagine Floyd had to be, just kicking himself last night, thinking, "Damn, I should have fought Martinez. I could have beat his ass and been a middleweight champion." But a Floyd Cotto rematch would be big money. I don't think it's impossible to make, but I don't think it's the most likely fight to make. The fight that I think is the most likely to happen is Canelo Alvarez if he beats Arizonde Lara. Assuming he beats Lara, you gotta assume, Canelo already wanted Cotto. It's a big fight. De La Hoya said he'd want to work with Bob Arum. Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Uh, I don't know if it might be big financially. Maybe not as Floyd Cotto rematch, but it's definitely the second biggest money fight I think to be made out there. And of course, Manny Pacquiao. Now, I don't think this fight's very likely because Manny Pacquiao is 147. He's fighting at welterweight. But he has beaten Cotto pretty convincingly in the past. Obviously, Cotto's much bigger now. And I mean, Freddie Roach trains them both, so obviously you got to factor in that's probably the reason why this fight wouldn't happen. But um, it's not going to happen. But would be pretty damn interesting if Pacquiao was willing to try to step up and fight Cotto, who isn't a full-blown middleweight still. Obviously he's still not a full-fledged 160 pounder. But it would be interesting to see how a rematch between those two would go at this point. But either way, great performance by Miguel Cotto. Val, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with a V. It's not valuable, but whatever. Something effort, good effort. On Sergio Martinez's part. Got to give him credit for hanging in there, trying his best. But it was Miguel Cotto's night from round one on. Um, anyways, one of your guys' thoughts on the fight? What'd you think about it? You know, thoughts in general. What do you want to see next for Miguel Cotto? Who would you like to see next? Who do you think's next? And any other thoughts in general. That's it for now. Link to Twitter and the information on the video as always. And until next time, I'm out.